Good morning. I didn't really know where to start, and Mike got me all fired up on his the rest of the Windchill album, so I figured I'd jump over here. Ange and I watched this last night. I guess first and foremost, if you have to make a judgment call because I watched it, this is not the channel for you. This was not in any way hateful hit piece. And just so I don't even mess around, I agree with the outcome of this film. As the father of daughters, I see women as what is a woman? Any one of the species that milk producing mammaries, ovaries, female, woman, mom, then there's what we're going to hear here. And for the first time in my life, I had to put in a position that they could take their gender word. A woman's a woman. We all know what a woman is. Mr. Peterson's going to explain. I've never heard it put so well, so I thought this is what we would focus on. I highly recommend seeing the movie. I really do. It was very good, and there's some foul intentions on our children.
The other parent doesn't. Who wins that battle?
The one who wants to affirm.
Every time?
Every single time. The goal is to get the parents to affirm the kid.
There's no such thing as a gender-affirming therapist. That's a contradiction in terms.
Why?
Because you don't affirm if you're a therapist. It's not your business to affirm. You come to see me because there's something wrong. Maybe you come to see me because a destructive element of you is wreaking havoc in your life. I'm on the side of the part of you that wants to aim up, man. That's what I'm on the side of. Okay, now I don't know what that means in your case, but we're gonna talk about it. Am I gonna affirm what you think? No, it's not up to me to affirm it.
So I won't. I don't even think I should give away the whole scene. I think they did. I think Mr. Walsh here did a hell of a good job. And I think it's actually balanced. I personally believe a couple of these folks really are good human beings that mean well. I don't know what her role would be. I can't remember. She wants to be able to discuss what's going on with some of this stuff. So, looks like she's been in the game for a while. And it used to be therapeutic and you'd help and you'd talk. And now it's drugs and surgery, drugs and surgery, drugs and mutilation, drugs and mutilation. When they challenged that, they got some pretty bad answers. So, as long as there's two uses for the drug, it seems like the people prescribing them to your kids will ignore the the other uses. It's weird. It was very eye-opening. Because it appears to be more about the culling and population growth than it does gender expression. My ass. I agree with this.
Between men and women temperamentally aren't that great. There are masculine because it's vague and
Of
gender is not a good word because it's vague and it isn't measurable.
So do we need it? Why can't we just say temperament? What do we even need the word gender for?
Well, I don't need it,
Yeah.
but
Ange and I cracked up. Me neither. It appears that what I need to realize is that there's males and females of the species. And then there's all kinds of people with different temperaments. And there's all kinds of males who want to have the temperament of females. There are females who have, he's going to explain it, but I think I shouldn't spoil it. I realize that I don't want to do a reaction, and I actually think this human being cares. I do believe that in their education, so there's this weird doe in the headlights reoccurring theme in some of these folks interviewed. And then some street interviews. And I'm sorry if you don't understand that objective reality, it's real. It doesn't matter what dumbass deep thought you think you're having. This is just real. It's physical. It's a real thing. It's this idea, just because I say something, it's true because you're supposed to cater to my wants and desires. That's ridiculous. You do not have to. That's why I agree with Jordan Peterson. We do not have to partake in a mass hallucination, and we do not have to play along. Hey, I like D&D. I play role-playing games. First time I want to bring my, my level 18 paladin to the real world, and I think that Sir Rockin' Hood is the greatest guy who ever lived, well, then maybe I need help. You can, as long as I'm not harming anybody, I guess you could leave me alone, but here's the problem. We've got too many groups of people who have been left alone too long and are buying their own bullshit. It's like South Park. I think they got that right with the Prius owners who just love to smell their own shit. You're so self-righteous, so better, but you're also a tiny, tiny minority. It's only because your bubble has been amplified. And it's really obvious in this this movie that people are living in their bubble and they are sure that their bubble is all that matters. And I tell you, you could tell when they're educated people, when they finally figure out that their line of bullshit won't get them through the interview. Because I'll tell you what you want to know what I heard? You want to learn something, go out, check this out, and support it. Because without supporting it, they don't make more. So that's why I'm not doing a bunch of clips from it, and you have to see it. But if you want to realize that an entire group of people define woman as woman, and it doesn't get any farther than that, it is gut-churningly offensive. What's a woman? A woman. Anyone who says they're a woman. No. Can nurture, give birth to, drop egg, the woman package. Saying it so doesn't make it true. And the fact that you could tell because they don't have an actual argument, all they have is this statement. Well, anyone who says they're a woman. No. Cross-dressing men don't get to form their own secret society and then come out in the open and take over womanhood. Are you high? There is too much sexual gratification in these political positions. This can't be. It's got to be for the private. I got to agree with everyone who says it doesn't matter where you put your crotch, okay? Your crotch doesn't come into this thing. Keep it to yourself. Do no harm. But my God, who cares who you bang? Jeez. That is not... So here it is. They want you to identify by your bang friends group and your video game group and your internet group. What they don't want you to identify as someone as a member of the community or someone working to make a better world. No. Divide and conquer. Divide and conquer. This is one of the ways they are dividing and conquering. And I will highly recommend checking it out. It is well worth the watch, in my Oh, yeah, this Dr. Phil interview was crazy. It looks like they took that off the air because it seems like what we can't do is have a conversation. That somehow has to be shouted down. How legitimate can a position be if it has to be shouted down? Once again, it's like a lot of things. Boy, you shine a little light on it, and I'm nobody. And they did it, and like I said, I've watched a shit ton of movies. It is not a one-sided hate fest at all. Like I said, most of the folks in here shine and believe in what they're saying. They just get asked questions, and it turns out that a lot of answers are problematic. And if the answers and the factual answers are problematic, then, it's your position that's got a bad foundation, not the questions. A legitimate question can't be the problem. It'd be the foundational stance of your argument. If one question knocks your argument down, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. I don't know what I'm saying. I'm saying you should check this movie out. It's well worth checking out. And for my daughters, my wife, and for all women, I know what a woman is. And it's as easy as, where is he? Let's find him. Nope, not him. That was uncomfortable. I was pretty sure him being naked around his kids made him well adjusted. Where's our guy? A lot of these cases went viral, so it's super interesting. Well, hold on. I'll be right back. Take too long. You don't need to watch me look for it. This guy went viral. I'm pretty sure I was looking for this guy. And I'm sorry if it seems bad, but I think he nails it.
How do I know?
Yeah.
Well, common sense.
Trans women are women!
Doesn't the science say that if someone identifies as a woman, then they are?
No.
Yeah. So I agree with him. I agree with that position. I also think you should be able to do what you want as long as you do no harm. So that's why it's just me here. It's 55 out today. It's very cold. Just in case, so I don't mean no disrespect. You can do whatever you want. Do no harm. But, yeah, we can't just erase actual women because dudes. So here's my biggest dilemma, and I'll leave it at this. If this was the case, and it was legitimately real, then we would see, and the equality, that the fact that just saying it meant it true, you would see all kinds of females transition to males, then dominate male spheres. And I know it's only one case in this movie, but I don't think Instagram is what I mean. I've told stories myself, so it's personally working, had opportunities to be employed with female to male people who have transitioned, however, and I treat a dude like a dude. Problem is, the moment the dude needed to do work, he stopped being a dude and reverted to being a 98-pound girl pretending to be a dude. Now, I meant no ill will. But you took a role that you physically couldn't do, but you got into the role because you said you were a man. I do not have to do all your work for you because you identify as a man. If you identify as my equal, you would have to carry your own weight. like my equal. And I can only speak for myself. I mean no disrespect. But that's the dilemma. I don't see it happening. I see lots of men dominating women's spaces, but not the other way around. And like I said, Instagram don't count. My personal porn preferences don't count in the conversation. We're talking about the real world out there, not the fantasy. I think that's the problem. What people like to do in their bedrooms has now come out in the real world like it's truth. And I think it's going to become hugely problematic. So I feel for everyone stuck in these scenarios, these situations. And I believe you deserve to exist. We just all don't have to change our view of the world because you exist. That's my personal opinion. I highly recommend this movie. It was fantastic. And I like the old guy. I want to go shop at his store later.